Okay, so you read the title. I'm assuming you can read. Before we start, though, I'm gonna turn that way down. So, this video is not necessarily for anyone. It's pretty much just for me, so I can remember what perks there are, because I'm bored of the meta ones. So anyway, yeah, every perk in the game. Shut up. Agitation. Terry radius is increased by 12 meters when you carry someone, and you have 18% haste. Yeah. Brutal strength. Destroy drop pallets, breakable walls, and generators 20% faster. Unnerving presence. Survivors within your terror radius have a 10% greater chance of triggering skill checks. Repairing for healing triggered skill check success runs are reduced by 60%. Oh, I do want to also mention any of these perks can change at any time. This is before the Krazu comes out. So yeah, I don't know what patch we're on. Bloodhound. Fresh blood marks are considerably more describable. I don't know. Than normal and can be tracked for 4 seconds longer than normal. Predator. I gotta try this one out because this one got reworked. When a survivor escapes a chase, reveal the aura 4 seconds. That's 40 seconds cooldown. Also, yes, I know you could just go in the game and look at them, but there's like 9 pages of perks. Yeah. So it's nice just to have them all in one spot. Anyway, when blinded by any means, you gain 10% haste for 10 seconds. Uh, okay. Enduring. Reduces pallet stuns by 50%. Yeah. Lightborn. I think you all know what Lightborn does. Tinkerer. Whenever a generator is repaired to 70% progress, it triggers a loud noise notification, and you are granted the undetectable status effect for 16 seconds. This effect can only be triggered once on each generator. The Nurse. Thanatophobia. For each injured, dying, or hooked survivor, all survivors receive a penalty of 2% to repair, sabotage, and totem cleansing speeds. If there are 4 injured, dying, or hooked survivors, this is an additional 12% penalty. A nurse is calling. You see people who are healing within 28 meters. It's pretty simple. Strider. Use it on spirit. Yeah, breathing is 50% louder and 20. Yeah, you get it. Michael. Save the best for last. Each time you do a basic attack on anyone that's not the obsession, you gain a token which decreases the basic attack cooldown. You can earn up to 8. Hitting the obsession causes you to lose it. Dying Light. You become obsessed with one survivor. Obsession gain 30. Obsession gains a 33% action speed bonus to unhooking and healing other survivors. Each time you hook a survivor other than the obsession, if the obsession is alive, gain a token. If the obsession is alive, all survivors who are not the obsession gain a 3% penalty to repair, healing, and sabotage each token. Yeah. Playing with your food. Each time you chase your obsession and let them escape, you get tokens up to 3, which each give you 5% haste. Moving on. Sorry, Michael. She has all hex perks, so we have Devour Hope. So, just to explain this very simply, if you every time you hook someone with the hex standing and you leave for at least 24 meters away, you gain tokens in each checkpoint of tokens does a wide variety of things, and then once you have max, you kill people. Yep. Ruin, just any generators not being worked on automatically regress. Don't bring other regressions perk with it that require kicking because you probably won't be able to use them. Anyway, third seal. A basic attack or a special attack while the hex is active applies the blindness side effect. This applies to the last 4 survivors. I wish it would be oblivious instead, actually, because that sounds much more lethal. Overwhelming presence got a rework last time I checked. So when a survivor starts using an item within 32 meters of you, they gain exhausted for 15 seconds. When a survivor within 32 meters of you gains exhausted, you see the closest exhausted survivor's aura for 4 seconds. Um, that actually could, I think that could be good on paired with what other perk was it? The friggin' I forgot what it was. One of the perks. There's a perk I'm gonna pair with that and see how it is. Any monitor abuse. While on its chase, your terror radius is increased by 8 meters. Otherwise, your terror radius is decreased by 8 meters. Pretty simple. Overcharge. When you kick a generator, the survivor interacting with it next, faced with a difficult skill check, failing the skill check, results in 4% lost progress. Succeeding grants no progress but prevents the explosion. And then after it's applied, it goes from 85% of normal regression speed to 130% normal regression speed. Just use Call of Blind, honestly. I like it more. Anyway, Cannibal. Barbecue and Chili. After hooking a survivor, all other survivors' auras are revealed to you for 5 seconds when they are further than 40 meters from the hook. Knockout. When a survivor drops a pellet, if they move 6 meters away from it within 6 seconds to gain 5% hindered for 5 seconds. Franklin's, you hit people, they drop their items. Pretty simple. Huntress. I don't want to mention these because they're that bad, but I'll mention them anyway. When you gain ball last gain undetectable for 40 seconds. Okay. Huntress Lullaby. Survivors receive a 6% regression penalty when missing a skill check while healing or repairing. Each time a survivor is hooked, the hex grows in power. You gain tokens, and each token, the skill check becomes shorter, so finally there is no skill check for it. Territorial Imperative. So when a survivor goes in the basement, it shows you their aura. That's pretty much it. Nightmare has some pretty good perks, I think. Bloodborne. So when you hook a survivor, when the exit gates are opened, it blocks them from leaving for 60 seconds. So in other words, just leave. Fire up each time generator is repaired. You gain 6% stackable buff that grants speed bonus to picking up, dropping, belting, damaging generators, breaking pallets, etc. Oh my god. Remember me. When the obsession takes damage, you gain tokens up to 5, and it makes the opening speed for the thing slower. Whatever it is. Hangman's Trick. At the start of the trial, 4 random hook sections, scourge hooks, you see their auras in white. Get a notification when a survivor begins sabotaging the hook. While carrying a survivor, see the aura of any survivor within 16 meters of the scourge hook. There's literally a Wesker perk that's just that, but better. Surveillance unlocks potential in one's aura reading ability. Any regression generator will be highlighted by a white aura. If the regression is interrupted on the generator, it will be highlighted by a yellow aura for 16 seconds. Noises created by generators are audible at an additional 8 meters. Make your choice. When a survivor rescues another from a hook at least 32 meters away, make your choice causes the survivor to scream and applies the exposed status effect for them to 60 seconds. Let's cool down to 60 seconds. Use that on Springtrap. Yeah. Clown. Colorophobia. Survivors within your terror radius have 50% penalty, healing progression speed, and healing skill checks made at 50% power. Pretty simple. After hooking a survivor, the next generator damage instantly loses 20%. And then this makes vaulting speed faster by 15% and also blocks vault location. Pretty good on most killers. Spirit Fury. After you break 2 pallets, the next time you're stunned by a pallet, the entity will break it. Pretty simple. Hex Haunted Ground. Haven't used this one yet, but I do want to. So it sets up 2 trap totems, and if survivors cleanse it, they get exposed for 60 seconds. I believe this is the only perk that allows you to kill people, by the way. So Ranker, you become obsessed with someone, and every time generator is completed, your obsession sees your aura. However, it also reveals all the other survivor locations to you. Also, obsession is exposed at the end of the game. What are we at right now? About 10 minutes, and we're already halfway through the roster. That's pretty good. Oh, this won't take long. Discordance. Any generator with a range of 128 meters that is being repaired by 2 or more survivors is marked by a yellow aura. When the generator is for silent, Discord triggers a loud noise notification on the generator. After the generator is no longer within range or is no longer being repaired by two or more survivors, the aura remains for another 4 seconds. Mad Grit, when carrying a survivor, you suffer no cooldown from its basic attacks, and successfully hitting another survivor with a basic attack will pause the carried survivor for the time for 4 seconds. Iron Maiden, so you open lockers 50% faster, use it on hunters, yeah. And then anyone who goes into a locker and exits suffers from exposed. And they scream. Like, corrupt intervention. So 3 generators located furthest from you are blocked by the entity for 120 seconds, and it cancels when someone goes down. And then whenever you down someone, anyone within your terror radius screams. And then Dark Devotion, when you hit your obsession gains your terror radius for 45 seconds, and its radius is set to 40 meters. Also, I just read this. It should be noticed that the survivor who has the terror radius is also considered inside the terror radius for other purposes, so like other purposes and stuff. Ghostface. I'm all ears. Use it on Pyramid Head. When people vault, you see their aura. There you go. Uh, After breaking about the survivor, all generators not being repaired. What the freak? Okay, I'm gonna speak like this now. All generators not being repaired by survivors are blocked by the entity for 16 seconds. I'm gonna stop that now. Furtive chase. You become obsessed with one survivor. When the obsession's hooked, you get undetectable and 10% haste for 18 seconds. Pretty good. Alright, Surge, one of the most well-known perks in the game. When a survivor goes into a dying state, the gens lose 8% of progress, yeah. Mindbreaker. This was the perk I wanted to pair with Unnerving Presence, was it? Overwhelming Presence? I forgot. That one doctor perk. This is the one. Because when survivors are repairing the generator, they have blindness and exhausted. So I want to see how that reacts to it, because it just sounds interesting with the rework. The survivor is afflicted by blindness and exhausted when working on gens, and then when they leave the gen, it stays with them for 5 seconds. Cruel limits. Every time the generator is completed, all windows and vault locations are blocked for the next 30 seconds. Does that say pallet too? Just oh. And now you have the Oni. It's that one survivor perk that lets you see all the pallets and stuff, but just for killer. Blood Echo. All injured survivors when someone is hooked suffer from hemorrhage and exhausted for 30 seconds. Nemesis. When a survivor blinds or stuns you, they become the obsession, and they are afflicted with oblivious for 60 seconds, and their aura is shown. Deathslinger. Gearhead. After a survivor loses a health state by any means, Gearhead activates for 30 seconds. Gearhead is active every time a survivor performs a good skill check. While repairing, the aura is revealed to you for 8 seconds. I actually find this perk on paper sounds good, but because the fact the auras are red and the generator auras are red, it doesn't help as much as you think it would. It can be good, you just have to get lucky, so use it at your own risk. Dead Man Switch. When you look at Survivor, Dead Man Switch activates, which stops repairing. When the first survivor that stops repairing a generator causes the entity to block it for 50 seconds. And it's highlighted in a white aura. Hex Retribution. Any survivor interacting with a dull totem or a hex totem will suffer from the oblivious status effect. And then if any hex totem is removed, including this one, the auras of survivors are revealed for 20 seconds. That's pretty good. That's actually really good, I think. Forced Penance. Survivors who take protection hits are inflicted with broken. For 80 seconds. After damaging a generator, become undetectable, and the generator stops progressing. During this time, the generator's yellow aura is revealed to survivors. This effect can only trigger every 30 seconds. Deathbound. When survivor heals another survivor, the healer survivor screams and activates Deathbound. And basically, if they are more than 4 meters apart, the healer sees the aura of the survivor they healed, and they suffer from the oblivious status effect. I haven't tried that perk out. Um, so Dragon's Breath, when you kick a generator, then anyone reacting to it will scream for 4 seconds and they suffer from exposure for 60. This is just a get out of jail free card for hexes. You know, someone removes the hex, it transfers to this hex. So basically, second life for your hexes. Hex Blood Favor, one of the most underrated hexes, I think. Um, Enduring a survivor will call upon the entity to block pallets from being pulled down within a 32-meter range for 15 seconds. So basically, you hit someone, they can't pull down pallets within a certain range. This wins. Porter shows anyone that reveals the location of anyone interacting with chess. When you damage when you damage a generator for oppression, up to 3 other random generators also begin regressing. If the affected generators are being repaired, any survivors repairing them receive a difficult skill check. Coup de grace. Each time a generator is completed, coup de grace grows in power. You gain 2 tokens with a maximum of 5 tokens. 1 token increases the distance of your next lunge by 80%. That's actually pretty good for certain killers. It may not sound like a lot, but it is a lot. Star Trek. Oh, I haven't heard of this perk in so long. While carrying a survivor, any other survivor within your terror radius suffer from the exposed aspect. For 30 seconds, when they leave your terror radius, as well as those within your radius, when you hook or release the carried survivor, Star Trek. Wait. Oh, it persists for that long. Hacked crowd control. So when a survivor performs a rush vault, the vault becomes blocked by the entity. It applies to 5 volts. No way out. Basically, when a survivor touches an exit gate, the gate blocks, and when you hook different survivors, 12 seconds is added on. Nemi, my boy. Um, Lethal Pursuer, also known as My Addiction. At the start of the trial, the auras of all survivors are revealed to you for 9 seconds. It also tacks on 2 seconds to any other aura stuff you have. Hysteria, don't use this much. Whenever a healthy survivor becomes injured by any means, all injured survivors suffer from the oblivious status effect for 40 seconds. It can only trigger 20. It can only trigger every 20 seconds. After kicking your generator, its aura is highlighted in yellow. Whenever a survivor enters the dying state, every affected generator explodes, losing 10% worth of progress and starts to regress. Any survivor repairing a generator when it explodes scream and reveal their aura for 12 seconds. It has a cooldown of 30. The Cenobite, note, all of these are just free in the Blood Web now. The only reason I have it is because I had him before he left. Anyway, Deadlock. After a generator is repaired, the generator with the most progress is blocked for 25 seconds. Plaything Hex. So it isn't actually technically a hex, it's more like a scourge hook, but, just for all hooks. But basically, what it does is every time you hook a survivor for the first time, a totem lights up and they have Oblivious, which I think we all know what that does if you're watching, and it's revealed to the cursed survivor within 60 meters, but for the first 90 seconds, only the cursed survivor can cleanse the totem. And then we have Gift of Pain, which, when a survivor is unhooked from a scourge hook, they suffer from the hemorrhage and mangled status effect. For 90 seconds, the first time the survivor is healed, they suffer a 16% speed penalty to healing and repairing. The Artist. We all know what these do at this point. Grim Embrace. Each time a survivor is hooked for the first time, you get tokens. When moving 16 meters away from the hook, all generators are blocked for 10 seconds. And then when you reach 4 tokens, the entity blocks all generators for 40 seconds, and the Obsession's aura is revealed to you for 6. I want to pair that with the new Prazu perk that's coming out. I think it'd be good. Pain Resonance, we all know what this does. Put them on a Scourge Hook, the gen goes boom. Pentimento, let's get a rework. If the totem is rekindled, survivors heal and pair 20% slower, and then 3% plus for each rekindled totem, and then if all 5 are rekindled, all totems are permanently blocked by the enemy. Survivors cursed by this perk see the auras of rekindled totems with 16 meters. Yandere. Please stop it. God. So Floods of Rage, after someone is unhooked from a Scourge Hook, all survivors' auras are revealed to you for 7 seconds. Call it Brian. After damaging a generator, the generator regresses at 150% of the normal regression speed, and you can see its aura in yellow. And then each time a survivor completes a good skill check, yes, a good skill check, not a great skill check, on a generator affected by this perk, you receive a loud noise notification. When a generator reaches 90%, they basically just get flooded with skill checks, and if they miss or stop preparing, the generator is blocked. The dredge, dissolution. 3 seconds after injuring a survivor by any means. Yes, 3 seconds after. Make sure you know that because I did that first. Dissolution activates for 20 seconds, and then while it's active, if a survivor fast vaults over a pallet inside your terror radius, the entity will block the pallet at the end of the vault. Or break it at the end of the vault. Darkness revealed. When you search a locker, the auras of all survivors within 8 meters, any locker are revealed to you for 8 seconds. And Septic Tunge. Whenever a survivor performs the healing action within your terror radius, that survivor suffers from blindness and exhausted. I really want to try that Doctor perk now. Because I didn't read that last line, and it kind of has me curious. So after this video is uploaded, we'll do a stream. When a survivor performs a fast vault within 12 meters of you, this perk activates. The next time you vault a window, your vaulting speed is increased by 40%. When carrying a survivor, you see the aura of other survivors within 20 meters. When the exit gates are powered, anyone injured becomes broken. So, yeah. Alright, now, nowhere to hide, also My Addiction 2.0. Whenever you damage a generator, you reveal all the survivors standing within 20 more 4 meters of your position. I like this one because a lot of the time survivors actually hide around the generator in places you would never know if you didn't have this perk. Face the Darkness. So when you injure a survivor, by any means, like totem, and then for every 25 seconds, the survivor scream and reveal their position for 2 seconds. Yeah. Hubris. Whenever you are stunned by the survivor, that survivor suffers from the exposed status effect for 30 seconds. I would try that on Dredge, see how it is. Skull Merchant, no one cares. Bad. Game afoot. When you're chasing the obsession, this perk activates. Damaging generators and breaking walls or pallets gives you 7% haste. Why you would do that, I don't know. Thwack starts with 3 tokens. When breaking a pallet or breakable wall, consuming tokens, survivors within 36 meters scream and their auras are revealed for 6 seconds. Leverage. When a survivor performs the unhook action, their healing speed is reduced by 50%. 30 seconds. So genetic limits. Anytime a survivor loses a health state, they suffer from the exhausted status effect for 8 seconds. That's, I don't know. Forced hesitation. When a survivor is put into the dying state, by any means, all other survivors standing within a 60-meter range around them suffer from the hindered status effect for 10 seconds, reducing their movement speed by 20%. Machine learning. When you damage a generator, it becomes compromised, and once it's completed, you gain undetectable and 8% haste. Ultimate weapon, whenever you open the locker, survivors scream for 32 meters, you get the Joust. Rapid Brutality, it removes Bloodlust, but hitting basic attack gives you 5% haste. Um, you see the aura of the furthest injured survivor for 8 seconds, and that survivor is oblivious for 60 seconds. Hex 2 can play. Very niche, but I think it sounds fun. I've never tried it. But anytime you are stunned or blinded by any survivor 2 times, if there is no Hex totem associated with Hex 2 can play, adult totem becomes Hex totem. Survivors who stun or blind you are blinded for 1.5 seconds. Friends to the end. When you hook a survivor that is not the obsession becomes exposed for 20 seconds and reveals their aura for 10 seconds. When you hook the obsession, another random survivor screams and reveals their possession and reveals their position and becomes the obsession. So batteries included. Whenever you're in 60 meters of completed gen, you gain 5% haste, and then it lingers for 5 seconds and then disappears. Unbound. Um, After a survivor becomes injured, vaulting a window gives you 7% haste. When you perform the damage action on a generator, your terror radius transfers to the generator for 30 seconds, and the radius is set to 32 meters. So kind of like Tark the version, but for gens. This one's a bit hard to explain. So when a survivor misses a healing or repair skill check, gain 3 tokens up to 30, and then when you perform the action on the generator, you consume all of them, and then for each token you lose 1% of progress, and it becomes blocked for 1 second. And then it starts regressing when it's unblocked. Now we have the Lich. Leave attunement. When an item becomes depleted for the first time, it's dropped, and you see the auras of dropped items. Survivors within 12 meters of dropped items have their auras revealed to you. When a survivor picks up a survivor item, they suffer from the ability to satisfy for 30 seconds. When a survivor within 30 meters of you scares a crow, they suffer from the exhausted status effect for 10 seconds. Again, another perk I have to try for that. I actually think I can make a very niche build around that one perk, I think. Dark Arrogance. Increases the duration you are blinded by any means with duration of how it's stunned by 25%. Increases regular vault speed by 25%. Just bring Lightborn and like friggin' Enduring, you'll be fine. X Wretched Fate. After one generator has been repaired, a random dual totem becomes the X totem and curses the obsession. The obsession suffers a 33 repair speed penalty. They also see the Hex totem score or within 12 meters. Human Greed. You see the auras of unopened chests, and any survivor's auras for reveal for 5 seconds when they enter 8 meter range. You also gain the ability to kick chests towards them. Don't really see the use of that, but dominance. The first time each totem in each chest is interacted with by a survivor, that totem or chest is blocked by the entity for 6 seconds. Houndmaster. All Shaking Thunder.
Once again,
Really niche.
it's just you and
Can be very powerful on certain maps, but not on others. So after you fall from a height, the lunge attack distance is increased by 75% for 16 seconds. Yes, and it has a 5%. It has a 5-second cooldown. Yeah, Jag Compass used with Scourge hooks. Yeah, so basically when any survivor is unhooked from a regular hook, that hook becomes Scourge hook, and then not only that, when you hook a survivor on a Scourge hook, the aura of the generator with the most progress is revealed in yellow for 10 seconds. No quarter, basically Merciless Storm, but with healing. So, kinda good. Scream Warning. Yep, so Hex nothing but misery. After you damage survivors 8 times with basic attacks, Adult Totem becomes Hex Totem, cursing all survivors. Dude, can we not do this? When you damage a survivor with a basic attack, they gain 5% injured for 5 seconds. When a survivor takes damage, you gain up to 1 token, and then up to 8. And then for each token, you drop and pick up survivors, along with hooking them 4% faster. And then another 3 when you hook survivor for the first time, you gain 1 token. Please shut up. Up to 4, and then when all generators are completed, for each token, all windows and upright pallets are blocked for 16 seconds. And then help wanted. You compromise a generator, and then all compromised generator, when it's completed, Let me get back. When the generator is completed, the cooldowns for your basic attack are 25% faster for 60 seconds. Phantom Fear really like this perk. When a survivor within your terror radius looks at you, they scream and you see their aura for 2 seconds. Exit gate switches with at least 80% of progress regress at the rate of 100% of the gate open speed, so that's haywire. And that is all the perks. Yes, I literally just sat there and read off perk descriptions. If you don't like the video, womp womp, don't watch it, I'm sorry. This video was more for me to just look at perks I haven't read yet. There are other perks, because I just looked at that one, like all the teachables. There are basic perks that I don't ever use. So like Bitter Murmur, stuff like that. You can go read it if you want. None of them I use much. Deerstalker, yeah. Anyway, that's about it. So, yeah.